Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and I got the grumpy crew with me in the house. We got Rob, we got Damon, we got Brent, and for the audio portion, everyone waved when I said their name there, so that was perfect. This is episode 80, and yeah, how the hell is everyone doing?
Doing good.
Living your best COVID lives?
Yeah, trying it, man. Trying to.
Happy Nintendo pulls everything off of Mario Eve to everybody here.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that is today.
Yeah, tomorrow it's being, I guess, not so fondly referred to as the day Mario dies.
Oh, no. I guess I should have snapped up the 40 copies I just saw in EB Games.
Who knows? I have a sealed copy. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe I can retire on it. We'll see how.
Oh, sure.
I should have left mine sealed, I think.
They're going to fool everybody, and then like next month they're going to come out individually priced. You'll just be able to download them individually.
Yeah.
With upgrades.
So I got an email reminder last Thursday about the whole pin set. Like if you go and do the whole little quest thing. And I was like, oh, I was working on that. So I went and checked it out. And I missed out on round 1 with the 3D All-Stars. That one sold out. But I got in on the round 2 with 3D World. And so Thursday, I finished up the quest. And that, I don't know if you've ever done one of those quests. They send you to like individual web pages about the game or just all these like different little quests, and you just look for little stickers in the page. Just some time-consuming stuff, but it gets you to every page of the stuff. So I completed that and then added 3D World to my library. And so Thursday afternoon I ordered it, and yesterday afternoon this showed up.
Oh, sweet!
That was awesome.
Yeah. So it's the Mario 35th pin set. And I was showing Rob here.
Official
Full of
unboxing.
Sonic pins.
Yeah, all full of Sonic the Hedgehog pins. So this one is monstrous. I'm not sure where you would wear that one, the actual 35th, but
yeah, that's pretty huge.
maybe put it on a hat or something.
Yeah, a backpack or something. Yeah.
But these other ones are pretty cool. Might add them, like Damon said, like I'll add them to a backpack or something. So, $7 shipping. Other than that, they were, yeah. But I was just surprised at I don't know, like I seem to remember when I was a kid or even before, like you spend Nintendo rewards, like when they had the reward points. And man, it would take months for your free stuff to come. But no, not now. Damn. UPS.
Yeah, no more sending in those box tops.
Nope.
It's true. Get your decoder ring.
Also, I was just gonna take a second here during the housekeeping that you know what, our numbers are kind of organically going up, and our stuff is actually getting viewed like double to what it was even 6 months ago. You know, it's only like 27, 30 views on things, but it's better than the 5 to 10 that we were getting. So at this point, anybody watching, listening, just recommend us to one friend. That's all I ask. If you like what we do, if we make you laugh, we inform you, just recommend us to one friend, and let's see those numbers go up.
Also,
and
our cholesterol numbers are going right through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Not the only numbers rising, so.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I just had a cup of gravy for supper, so I'm with a packet of horsey sauce.
The packet of horsey sauce. There you go.
Yeah, the pre-show was actually just a big discussion of Arby's, really, which really tells you everything you need to know about us.
Oh, now I'm hungry.
Damon's one of those little guys, though. He can eat like a horse and doesn't.
Oh, I wish.
The metabolism is slowing. Yeah, it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Last thing I'm going to mention is, we've talked about our Patreon and the PayPal that you can donate to. So I'm actually coming through with something I said during the show here. I'm going to give 3 opportunities. I'm going to mention a word, and I'll give out our email, makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. And the first 2 people at each of those points who email us, we got some Steam codes to send you. And they're games from the, what developer is this? Curve Digital Humble Bundle. And if I'll drop those words at random points during the podcast here. So you're going to have to listen to it all if you want to get in on it.
Yeah, get that swag.
And we'll send you some Steam codes. And if you end up being one of the ones, just drop us a line if you like the game or not. And yeah, love to hear from you.
The first sentence that we need to hear from you is "Rob is my favorite." Send that to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com.
Yeah. Rob is my favorite.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Well, the first word was going to be grouchy, but I'm changing it to Rob stinks now. Rob sucks.
Oh.
Oh, no. That can't be worse than the jelly beans.
Right. Well, that's all the housekeeping I got. So, I'll 3 points here during the podcast. I'll drop a word for people to send in for prizes. And first bit of news here, I'm going to hand the mic over to Damon.
So speaking of big prizes, Microsoft might be throwing $10 billion at Discord, and
wow,
purchasing them. That is a lot of money, and it actually makes a lot of sense for Microsoft to do that, even not just from a gaming standpoint, but I know they've really kind of pushed into the whole productivity market with Teams and stuff like that. But Discord, I don't know, it's kind of quintessential these days. And it's used for people that don't know, it's voice, video, and chat, and it's used a lot for gaming. It's a great way to be able to talk to people. Like when I'm playing Splatoon with my nephew, we have to jump on Discord because there's no voice chat in Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch. So that's what we use. So I could see Microsoft really leveraging that. I'm not too sure if it's what stage the acquisition is in, but I know there is a $10 billion offer. And that's a lot of zeros. So
I read an interesting article, and it was basically just a why would Microsoft do this? And another point they made is that Microsoft, it really feels like they've been looking for a community that they can just kind of take over. I forget the original name of what Mixer was, but that was their first attempt at it.
A failure? Is that the word?
No, Mixer had another name, and I can't think of it right now, before they rebranded it Mixer to be their own streaming service. I mean, sometimes, there was a couple other things that they've purchased. Like, I didn't know Microsoft owned LinkedIn.
What? I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They've been letting them run, essentially, without getting their fingers in there, but that was the basis of this article I read, and that makes sense too. Is that they, it's a great community. Like, it's not only for gamers. Like, it's like a trendier way to Skype. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, companies have been creating Discord pages now for their products and games and stuff, right? And those are actual home bases, like for people to come and just be like. It's like the evolution of the forums is what it really kind of feels like, right?
Yeah, back to Kickstarter. Yeah, I was taking back to Kickstarter for from the makers of Suikoden, and one of the first backer rewards is like you get invited into the Discord, and like that's kind of the
Oh.
thing. It's like they're like, yeah, come join this community, and like you said, it's community, and I think like Microsoft's really trying to leverage that.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if this happens. I mean, that's another big communication purchase for them.
Yeah, I've noticed that even a lot of game companies, including like EVE Online, has a massive community on Discord, like hundreds of rooms, and they even handle a lot of their customer service stuff now through Discord chats. So tons of applications that to be used for.
In that article too, it mentioned that they actually made. I was surprised. Like, they made a surprising amount of money with their Nitro upgrade, which I guess a lot of streamers and like a little more hardcore gamers use.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, yeah, we'll definitely keep our eyes open on that one. Next up, so Niantic, the makers of Pokemon Go and the Harry Potter World of Wizardry or whatever it was called, AR games where you go out and walk and play their stuff. Their next venture is actually looking to be a Pikmin AR game.
Oh.
So, like, it's so I tried the Harry Potter one, and basically they reuse all the real world points, like points of interest that you go to in Pokemon Go, and their first game, there was another AR game that everyone was playing on Android before Pokemon Go came.
Oh, it's something like it's some sort of term for noise, right?
Yeah, I used to play that, and I've forgotten the name. I was actually just trying to look it up because I know quite a number of people that play that, and actually had friends visit Toronto here, and we actually went around all the points, and it was pretty cool. I just can't remember the name for the life of me right now.
Yeah. Oh, always so prepared.
I know.
Ingress.
Ingress, yes.
Yes. So it was Ingress and Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So they're saying that it's going to be another AR adventure, but this time with Pikmin. So that's I mean, I'm down. I love me some Pikmin. So
Might be a tougher sale for them. I know, like, there's so many people that haven't played Pikmin, and a lot of people should probably pick up Pikmin. But like, Pokemon has like a built-in, fan base. So does Harry Potter. And but yeah, it's like Pikmin's fantastic. People should be playing that, and this should be interesting. I don't know. I think the closest that we've ever been to world peace was when Pokemon Go came out.
That week, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was such a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And people were outside, and it was amazing.
So just to share a little memory of that. So we'd heard that everyone was down at the legislature grounds hunting, and it was one of the most surreal moments because you guys know where the clamshell amphitheater area is. It's that big field.
Yep.
And so we were walking over by where the bocce ball courts or lawn bowling courts are, and I just hear someone yell, "There's a blah 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 over here." I can't remember what Pokemon it was, and literally just 100 people like just converging in that field because this one guy was like, "There's one here, I got it." It was awesome.
Oh man,
It's one of those surreal experiences.
oh yeah, totally.
So yeah, that's all I got on that. So Sony's really doubling down on crossing the medias. So they're developing a Ghost of Tsushima movie, and the gentleman who directs the John Wick movies has been tagged to run with this. So they really want his type of action that he does in the John Wick movies, kind of that frantic, like just awesome action. Be
Well, it would
But,
lend itself well to the game for sure.
yeah. But like, so there's this. They have The Last of Us. It's coming to HBO, and also Twisted Metal is coming, like actively being developed. So it's interesting stuff. But so Sony's doing that. Ubisoft has, God, I can't even remember how many cartoon versions of their stuff coming out.
Oh yeah.
And Capcom has a new Resident Evil series coming out.
Don't forget Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh. What was that?
Forget it. Don't do it.
And it would sure be nice if Ubisoft, instead of making all these damn movies, would finish Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm just going to leave that right there. I mean,
what's that, Rob? Yeah.
Maybe make a video game every now and then. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
So yeah, Sony doubling down on the physical media, or on the video media.
Right.
The movies. So next up, Brent has a little something he wants to share with us.
I do.
Something from the old rumor mill.
Everyone say hi, Brent. Oh, sorry. Sorry, it just sounded like you were leading into an intervention there, Ryan. That's why I was...
I thought it was going there too. Oh man. Well, I actually think this is going to be much less rumor and probably a really, really good thing for the Switch. There's talks that they're going to be using NVIDIA's DLSS, deep learning super sampling. And, for those that don't know what it is, it basically can take, very small images and make them look really, really great. I mean, that's just the general gist of it. And, with all the improvements they're talking about with the Switch, with 4K or supposed 4K, and saying that the next Switch is going to be a monster and it's going to have beautiful graphics and it's going to rival, all these top-end current systems. I could actually see the DLSS really playing a part in that, and that's where they're, people are kind of getting these rumors from, is they're seeing this kind of work that's being done and what it's outputting, and thinking that the new Switch is going to be a super beast when it's actually just the DLSS. But I can see it being something very good for the Switch. I'm sure there'll be hardware improvements coming along with it, but I think that is what's really gonna, kind of knock the Switch into, a very high-end graphical ballpark. And I think it's going to be something probably really, really cool. And seriously looking forward to it.
So that goes with the rumors of the 7-inch OLED display as well.
And the 4K dock.
And the 4K dock, yeah.
But I think, really, like just that alone, like the DLSS, is where probably maybe a lot of these rumors are coming from, because people are probably seeing, what it's outputting with these high-end graphics. And I can't say anything about the 4K dock or the bigger screen yet, but the rumors that are starting to surface now, are kind of seeming to have some basis, and I think a lot of it is seriously based around that, and what people are seeing produced from it, and they're, maybe people bringing out the rumors don't necessarily know what's going on. They're just saying, hey, this thing is looking like 4K. It's putting out beautiful images. It's playing all these high-end games. So, I think that's kind of where a lot of that coming from. So there's little grains of truth in there, I think. But, if this turns out to be real, I can't wait to see it.
I think it makes a lot of sense. So about this time last year, I picked up an RTX 2060, and it's a mid-range card, possibly entry-level RTX card. And when I played Death Stranding, I enabled DLSS, and it was a massive difference. We're talking an extra 20 to 30 frames a second with almost no noticeable visual fidelity loss. It was magic, possibly sorcery. I'm not too sure. Maybe those are the same thing. I'm not. I also learned a sorcerer is just a wizard without a hat the other night. But
get a wizard, Eddie.
But it's the DLSS is the real deal. So it really does make a lot of sense. Nintendo is all about squeezing every ounce out of their hardware, and that's that's right up their alley.
So one thing about it though is that they'd have to add patches, I think, because I don't think it works for it doesn't automatically do a backwards compatibility on games. Like it won't automatically start upscaling existing stuff.
No, definitely not. I think it's definitely like per game basis kind of thing.
I've been meaning to look up a list of like games that support that. I don't have Death Stranding on PC, but yeah, I've been wanting to see what that's all about.
Oh yeah.
That's all you got on that, Brent?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, still rumors and hearsay. So, but everybody should keep watching the Grumpy page for any updates.
Absolutely. Damon, did you have something you wanted to tell us? Like the next story.
About the 10th birthday of the 3DS?
Oh, no. I missed that. I skipped.
I could tell you about that. I can tell you my memories of the 3DS if you like.
Yeah, do her.
Well, on the Facebook page for Grumpy Old Gamers, we were asking for people's favorite 3DS game, and mine was Ocarina of Time 3D, and it was definitely more than just a port. Like it is a port, but it seemed to fit. Like I don't really have the fondest memories when I go back and I play 64-bit era games, like N64 games. Like who's played GoldenEye in the last decade? It's tough. It's real tough. And Ocarina of Time was like kind of right around there. There's still, but it just something about it being handheld and 3D really added a lot for me. I don't know, and it really, like I had a few long flights when I had that, and it really I was feeling that magic again. It was really good. It was great to have that in like my hands. So that was my favorite 3DS game.
Also on that for me, Metroid on the 3DS there. The 3D in that game is unreal. And I mean the game is great too, but the depth of field that 3D gives is it's perfect. Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite 3DS game, Rob? With the 10th birthday of the 3DS?
I was actually just checking out the limited amount I have. Honestly, I'd say a Super Mario 3D Land would be just for the kind of the experience playing it the first time, because that's when I turned on the 3D effect for the first time and thought, man, this isn't actually a gimmick. It's actually pretty cool. But other than that, it wasn't a handheld I got until much later in the run of it there. So, but yeah, definitely good memories about that. So,
the only other game that knocked my socks off with the 3D was actually Castlevania: Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate.
Easy for you to say.
No, it wasn't. That game too, man, oh man, they just like, I mean, Nintendo, you would expect them to put their first party stuff like, I remember I picked up Excite Bike. They did a 3D version of Excite Bike on the 3DS. There's a few like NES games that they 3D'd up, and it was okay. That was just an okay experience, but yeah. A lot of cool stuff with that for sure.
I wonder if 3D is something that Nintendo will revisit, because like everybody that has used it, they always say like, "Oh, that actually looks really cool." And it's like, it's not like when 3D was a thing for say movies, when it was going, everyone's like, you get the glasses on, you got to pay for the glasses, and it's kind of thing, and then you have to buy the disc. It has to be 3D encoded and blah 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 blah. But the games, I don't know, it just something that worked. I think it was like because it maybe was built into the screen, and you could just turn it off if you wanted, if you didn't like it. But I think it added a lot to the game experience.
Also, did you have the first gen, or did you have a new 3DS? Like the new 3DS?
No, mine was the first gen. I don't have a new. Yeah.
Matt, they added some great like eye tracking.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just
worked a lot better in the second gen. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, you could always find that sweet spot with the first gen, like where everything looked amazing, but it was a lot more forgiving, and it actually it did, like I said, it did some eye tracking and some face tracking of where you're actually holding it to, and didn't work so good in the dark though.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a Nintendo handheld staple, right? Not working so well in the dark.
They're like, we gotta add some Game Boy to this.
Needs more Game Boy.
Needs more Game Boy.
Man.
Did you have a 3DS or
somewhere?
okay.
And I still have the same one actually. I wouldn't call it a fond memory, but it was definitely memorable. I had just gotten the one that was had the graphics that looked like the NES, and I bought Spirit Camera because I absolutely loved playing Fatal Frame, and that's kind of the spiritual successor to it. And I was playing it about 2-3 hours, and had sat down in bed, and the ghost tracker went off, and I spun around in bed to try and catch the ghost, and like threw my back out for 3 weeks. So, because I mean, again, it was using the AR features, using the camera to superimpose like what was going on in the environment, with the ghost tracking, and I ended up spinning around just a bit too fast.
That's awesome.
That is the perfect story for this page right here.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Perfect grumpy old gamer.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, now Damon, do you have something you want to talk to us about?
Finally, Xbox is unlocking party chat for free. Like you don't have to be an Xbox Live Gold member. It's not going to be behind a paywall anymore. Oh. And that was that's like it's not for public rollout yet. It's kind of for the insiders and stuff like that. But that's always the first stage. They just test it, and then the next month So I would presume by the end of this month or the end of April, that would be free for all. And so that'll be your party chat, your multiplayer, and looking for games. So that was always one of the biggest gripes I know a lot of Sony fans are always like, if they ever moved over to Xbox, like, wait, I have to be an Xbox Live Gold member to be able to chat with people? How does that work? And it was antiquated. It was an old way to do it. Like, kind of like, it made sense, like when you were playing Mech Assault on the original Xbox or whatever, and like you bought the Xbox Live box, and inside of it you had the disc and you had a headset, and included in that was your 1-year membership, and that allowed you to talk to people, and they just kind of like grandfathered that and kept doing it. And it was, I don't know, it's such an old way to think about it. Like, you should be able to talk to the people that you're gaming with and not have to pay for it.
Looking for gamer just kind of sounds like one of those lines where it's like for $3 a minute, looking for single gamers in your area.
Don't give them any ideas to monetize that.
That could be a thing. There's a business idea.
I think LFG is looking for group.
I mean, that's cool too, I guess.
So yeah, that's I mean, so they're making that change, and then last week they dropped Xbox Live and went with Xbox Network, right? Or is it? Wait, yeah Xbox.
They rebranded Xbox Live to Xbox Network to kind of differentiate the Xbox Live Gold from their network service, because games with Gold, they're keeping that. So that's their way. Yeah.
Right. Because there's those people out there who are like, no, I don't want Game Pass. Why would I want Game Pass? It's way too awesome for me. Oh boy. All right. So kind of to go with something before we even got into news here. Not surprisingly, Mario 3D All Stars has seen a massive sales boost ahead of the deadline tomorrow.
Those people clearly didn't listen to my review of that game,
or mine, or yeah.
Don't do it, people.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't
Unless
do
you're
it.
a collector. Yeah, if you're a collector, then do what Ryan did. Otherwise, don't do it.
Keep your copy sealed. Rob. Oh, did we lose Brent?
I think we just lost Brent.
Dun, dun, dun.
Should we pause for a minute till he comes back?
Is this where we do fancy editing?
Fancy, yes. That's a word you could use to describe our editing techniques.
Well, you know what? While we're waiting for Brent to come back, this seems like a good opportunity
excellent opportunity
to drop in our first word contest.
Great
So
idea,
the
Ryan.
first the first two people who email the word grumpy to our email at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com will send you some Steam codes for some games from Curve Digital. So again, that's grumpy to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. And Brent has not returned yet, so yeah, Rob, why don't you we don't know what happened to Brent, so
But we miss him desperately already.
yeah.
So the biggest news of the last week was Capcom fully embracing their what a gamer is, their target demographic for Village. And I'm just going to share the screen because it's not. Oh, can you do that with Skype? Probably, right?
I think so.
Yeah, there's a share screen button down in
There we go, right there.
yeah.
Right there. Start sharing. Life-size Lady Dimitrescu? I think that's what we're gonna call her. Cutouts in Japanese game stores to promote their video games because gamers are a thirsty lot. And honestly, that is the thing that people are talking about most about the game, more than anything else, is 9'6" Lady Dimitrescu, and quite often followed by "Step on Me, Mama," or a variety of other phrases. Okay, unshare screen. There you go. So yeah, that's Capcom in Japan is just fully embracing it. They're like, you know what? If this sells more games,
People are really embracing it too. I've seen a lot of cosplaying of it already.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They don't even need a protagonist.
It
really doesn't matter. They could just have 12 to 14 hours of her just walking around.
Yeah.
You'd be like, yes.
I'm sure that'll come after the game is.
Yeah, that's DLC actually.
That's DLC. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Brent was going to talk about the Cyberpunk 2077 because I think he's the only one of us playing it. The big patch came out this week.
I own it, but I haven't played it yet. Yeah, I'm waiting for that next gen patch. I'm leaving it, and by then maybe the rest of these patches will be out. Did you look at the patch notes for Cyberpunk?
Dude, this is like 12 pages.
Scroll. Like, wow. And like reading some of these things, it was like some things were busted.
Yeah.
They were really broken. I don't have a frame of reference.
Here's just a random one. Breaking a window during gig on a tight leash will now properly alarm NPCs. Fixed an issue where Rogue would keep repeating the same dialogue line and never fade away. Like, did they not do any testing before the game came out?
There's an absolutely brilliant, and I think I've linked to it before on our page, but a YouTuber called Rerez did a whole 45-minute video on things that are broken before the very first patch in
Yes,
Cyberpunk.
yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just fantastic. Like falling through the road while you're driving along, and people not loading in for 10 to 12 seconds after you get to them. Just like, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot. This is like a 2.0 patch, it looks like, right?
It's
like,
funny they're not going to call it patch 2.0 when
No.
they've done so much. It's like by keeping it in the ones and just making it like a 1 point whatever increment, they're making it sound like it's not this gigantic patch that is almost the same size as the game. But
yeah.
Maybe Brent wants to tell us about his
I think Brent would
Cyberpunk
like
1.2 patch, seeing as he's back again.
I'm back. Sorry, I had a little power blip there and everything shut off.
You're right on time, unless you wanted to hear about Rob's pre-order of a cardboard cutout.
Yes, actually, I really did. I was really interested in that one.
Yep. We'll share the screen after we'll catch up.
Because, I need the sauce because I need to order one too. Oh, man. So, Cyberpunk, I assume.
Yeah, the 1.2 patch.
Yeah, we were slightly mocking the size and sheer amount of bugs that they needed to fix.
Yeah, I actually read the whole list, and that was a hell of a lot, and an incredibly big update. And I mean, it needs it. I mean, I'm not going to slag on Cyberpunk. I will keep my comments because it's in my what I've been playing later. But it definitely needs that big of a patch and that many fixes because it's pretty bad. I mean, it's still. Well, I'll go into that later, but yeah, it needs a patch. It's that badly broken, and really, all those fixes I've seen, like 3/4 of those. So
well, you know what, Brent? Why
definitely
don't we're going into what we're playing next? Why don't you just
segue
into what you've been playing and tell us a bit more. We'll keep on the Cyberpunk bandwagon here.
I bought a Cyberpunk mug.
Hey.
That was there. It looked pretty. I needed it.
I got the controller. Same thing.
I got the controller too. It is a nice controller, yeah.
I really wanted that controller too. So Cyberpunk. Man.
Wow.
Yeah. I have been enjoying it. I can't say I haven't been enjoying it.
Oh, sorry. Where have you been playing it? To start off with that.
In my room. No. I have been playing it on the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's been a good game. Like, I mean, aside from its technical difficulties, I really see what CD Projekt Red was trying to achieve here with Cyberpunk. And, everybody wants to get on the hater bandwagon when, one person has issue or 300,000 people have issues with the game. But, I mean, overall, the scope of what they tried to do was really kind of incredible. I mean, to make, if I have to liken it to the old Deus Ex games, it's like trying to make an open world version of Deus Ex. And they succeeded in a hell of a lot of ways. I wouldn't call it as open world or as living world as they touted it to be, maybe with more patches. NPCs that you can talk to just roaming the street, don't have an in-depth conversation with you, like every single one. There are ones that will, because they're special ones. Most of the other ones you can click on to talk, and they'll just have some one-line dialogue and then kind of just like stare at the ground. So the world seems to be open and thriving and alive, and the NPC really do some crazy things. I'd say a little bit even more so than GTA. But yeah, for complete open living world interactivity, that seems to be limited to certain areas like the apartment building that you live in, or other areas that you go, everything and everyone there seems to have something going on, something to say, something to do. And I mean, so in some ways, I'd really say they hit their mark. Combat in the game is pretty damn good. I mean, I wouldn't, call it as good as some high-end shooters, but the combat is excellent. Doing stealth is great. The NPCs still seem a little stiff. Harken back to like GTA 4, 5. You're not seeing except in the cutscenes, you're not seeing the deep fluidity that they were talking about. So yeah, some NPC can still seem really, really stiff. So like I said, when I first started playing the game, within like the first 5 minutes, there was an NPC waitress that came walking down the stairs of the bar that you're in, and from the waist down, she was in the stairs, and then she just walks by and kind of looks at you and glides across the floor like a ghost. So,
awesome. So
yeah, it was pretty.
Do you think this game can be saved with patches, or do you think it's?
Knowing CDPR and their previous history with like The Witcher, if they really put their heart into it, yeah, I could see Cyberpunk being something crazy once it's totally fixed. And I mean crazy good. More content, really just patching the game to make it work properly.
Okay.
I haven't had a ton of issues. Because, I got to say, aside from, certain issues that I've had with it, the Series X has been a beast. Like, I mean, just what it can do, what it has done. Just the auto HDR and upscaling of older games has been absolutely fantastic. And I think they can fix it. I mean, there have been some instances, where there's like... They kind of have these part cutscenes, part gameplay. It's like a mix. And some of the graphics in that, like, the playable graphics have just looked absolutely gorgeous. And then
so like QuickTime events, or
yeah, very similar to the QuickTime events, but you can, kind of do whatever you want in them. And it's funny because when you're talking to characters too, you're not like, you can actually be having dialogue with them, and you're not like stuck in front of the character, like, a la Skyrim, and stuck in this conversation. You can actually move around and do things while having a conversation with somebody and still, answering and replying to them. So yeah, the leaps that they made in the RPG genre, just in general, have been kind of crazy. And yeah, I think that with enough work and, if they keep to their past history, they could probably pull off, saving Cyberpunk and making it into something really awesome. I mean, I have enjoyed the heck out of what I have played, and I've only played like 2 or 3 of the tutorial missions, but that's been just really damn good. The character selection's been great. It was great, but not as in depth as they kind of said it was. They're like, you can do like every detail, and and then they have like 3 beard styles, or like, and then they have like 40 different hairstyles, and like 3/4 of them kind of look the same.
Right.
It's like, oh, there was a bead in that one, but it's still a dreadlock. So, but it looks exactly the same. There are other parts of the configuration process which I won't mention that were pretty graphic. But overall, I mean, the depth of being able to configure your character, wasn't all that they touted it to be, but it was still pretty deep in some ways. The only thing that I was disappointed with is this is Cyberpunk, and they had 4 or 5 sets of like cyberware or cybernetic implants for your body and face, and like 4 sets of tattoos.
Oh.
Like, what the heck is up with that? I mean, it's a cyberpunk future where everybody has cybernetic implants and tattoos. I would have expected a hell of a lot more customization in that area.
Right.
And it just wasn't there. Like they had next to nothing, and some of it looked like bad Florida hillbilly tattoos. Like it was that bad.
Okay.
But other than that, I can't say I hated playing the game because I really didn't. A lot of the dialogue is pretty cool.
Well, next time we have you on the show, you should. We'll get you to give us another update on Cyberpunk.
Oh, for sure, because I'll be playing it more.
Yeah.
It gave me some Fable vibes, but like if you do or do not do things in certain instances, the characters, the NPCs' reactions to you will be different. And I know because I did a couple of starter playthroughs to see what was up, and I tried different things, and I noticed that the NPCs reacted differently towards you, but I don't know if that actually changed or affected gameplay because it didn't really seem to. I mean, maybe once you get deeper into the story, it will. But yeah, I think they could pull it off. They could fix it, and Cyberpunk isn't all that bad. I mean, I had a good time playing it, and I still having a good time playing it. So
excellent.
Yeah.
And you got one other game here you wanted to tell us about?
Oh yeah, I do. It was kind of a last minute throw in because I kept thinking, what else am I playing? What the hell else have I been playing? And then I was like, oh yeah. So I've kind of picked up Elite Dangerous again. And I enjoy my space games. I know some of you gents do. And I've been impressed. They've changed a lot in the game. They are also giving you, in the past 3 or 4 years, they kind of locked all the good stuff behind a paywall called the Horizons, season pass or expansion. Well, Horizons is now completely free. So everything that was locked behind the paywall is really just free now, and you can play the game. And they've upgraded it a lot. And I gotta say, what was getting a little stale, I've been having a lot of fun with again. Like a heck of a lot of fun. It's for a video game, it's the closest thing that you could get to a supposed realistic space simulation of star travel in the future. And I've been enjoying the heck out of it now that you can actually do stuff and it's not all locked behind a paywall. So yeah, it's been a hell of a lot of fun. There's been a lot of little graphical and sound nuances. Like when you're auto docking your ship, it actually plays some of the music from 2001 Space Odyssey from when they were doing the anti-gravity walk.
Nice.
Yeah, just the little nuances. They've made the game fun again. And, whereas just a couple of years ago, they lost players in droves because they literally wanted to lock like pretty much, half to 3/4 of the game behind this paywall. And so they kind of got smart and, offered it for free now. It's included. And they actually I bought mine years ago, but they actually just had a sale on PlayStation because I ended up buying it again on PlayStation because I've been also playing a lot on the PlayStation. It was $11.99 Canadian.
Oh.
And it's normally like $35. And that came with, the Horizons. So can't sneeze at it. It was a pretty good price.
That's been on my backlog for quite a while now. When we were playing a lot of No Man's Sky there, you were telling me to give her a try. So it's on my backlog.
Yeah. Well, again, it's I think I'll like the game, honestly, because it's very much like No Man's Sky. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yeah.
And, I know that it definitely works for you. And you can do anything in the game. You can, be a space trucker. You can, specialize in combat. One of the things that I really like is, there's like something like 8,000 different galaxies. You can trick a ship out to be a deep space explorer and just go off exploring space and bringing back all the data that you collect and sell it for creds. So, and there are people that go way, way out and just, see the sights, see the galaxy, take pictures, gather all this information, and come back and sell it and show it off. And so yeah, it's definitely about the journey. And yeah, I got to say, I've actually been enjoying it again after taking a couple of years off.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right on.
Well, I'm gonna get into that one of these days.
Oh yeah. I will say one thing though. Graphically, I mean, I played primarily in Xbox, but now playing it on the PS4. I found the PS4 version a lot prettier.
Oh.
Just saying. Not complaining about the Xbox, just saying that I found it a little bit prettier in the PlayStation. I just don't know why.
Huh.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Well, Damon, why don't you tell us what you've been playing lately?
Sounds good. I'm gonna come out of the gate with a good one right off the top. It's on Game Pass. It's called Katana Zero. It's an indie game. It's published by Devolver. So I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into a little bit right out of the gate.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not exactly what you think it is. It's awesome. It is so good. It's the gameplay is, so you're a samurai, you're an assassin, and the gameplay itself is. If I had to compare it to a couple of things, it almost feels like it's got a little bit of Super Meat Boy. Bear with me on this one. Oh, we got a cat. 1 second. She's just making an appearance. She likes to do that. So in Katana Zero, you're a samurai assassin with a precognition ability, so you can see a little bit into the future. So you start off in your little level, and they're bite-sized. They're all each room is part of a bigger part of the level, and you start off and it says you're making a plan. So the plan that you make is, so you have some abilities. You have a dodge roll that's kind of like in Dead Cells where you're invulnerable and it can roll through enemy attacks. And you also have the ability to slow down time so you can reflect bullets back at enemies and stuff like that. Like everything is trying to kill you in this game right out of the gate. Like it's,
oh wow.
Yeah. And it's challenging, but these tools that you have, the dodge roll, the ability to slow down time, it really helps you. So it's like, and if you die, all it is you can rewind time because you're seeing this in the future and you're just like, oh no, that plan won't work. So it's, if you die, it's just like you can do it over and over and over and over again until you actually pass that one little level. And then once you do pass it, it actually plays it back in real time without the time slowing down and all the other things that you do. So, but in amongst all this craziness is an amazing synthwave soundtrack. It's got the whole vaporwave aesthetic. It is so good, and it's like it's all wrapped up in like a government conspiracy. You don't really know what's real and what's not real. There's time travel aspects to it. It's crazy. It's a must play. And I was actually reading just 3 days ago that they're actually releasing a DLC for it for free. So yeah,
like that.
It's a good game. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really good game. So apart from that, I played a game that was not very good, and I'm in a minority on this. I didn't like Undertale. I played Undertale. I played about 7 hours of it. And,
okay.
Yeah, it's not for me. And I love role-playing games. I loved Earthbound. I know that was like kind of like where this game came from. Was like a fanatical obsession for Earthbound. I know it was made by one guy, and that's impressive. But I mean, Hollow Knight was made by one guy, and that's more impressive. But but yeah, Undertale. It's. I don't mean to go all Tommy Tallarico on this game, but it's not for me. I don't get it. Like, I understand the story. It's supposed to be like making you question morality and stuff like that, and it could be because I just came off of Katana Zero, and it has a lot of themes of morality and everything because you're an assassin and stuff like that. But it's just. Undertale was not for me. The music was great. That's one really good thing I can say about it, is it was composed very well. And like it does have some memorable characters and whatnot, but yeah, Undertale, maybe not your bag. Maybe it's not mine. But I keep seeing things like Game FAQ. It was their first best game of all time. Like Like it's just this universal acclaim, and I'm so far below like the critical acclaim that it's been given. I'm sitting somewhere probably around a 5, maybe 6 out of 10 on it, and yeah, I'm not gonna go back to it. I'm like, oh, and I wanted to love it so bad. I'm like waiting for. I'm like, okay, where's like I didn't have a lot of expectations going in, and I keep hearing you need to be blind going into it, and I more or less was, and I was just like, I'm bored with this. I couldn't do it. So sorry, Undertale fans, but that's just not my jam.
Yeah, like I'm kind of going on those assumptions too. It's been on my backlog for a long time too, and just all the accolades that it's received. Even my kid, she was like, "Oh, it's the best game I've ever played," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll have to give her a try one day." And
it's weird. Like I can see like where it was trying to come from. Like I can see all of the nods to the games. Like I can tell the games that the developer must have played when he was making this. And like I gave it the college try. Like I put like probably like I did a full playthrough, and there is a little bit of replayability to it. I won't get into it because yes, you do need to go blind. There's some clever writing and stuff like that, but it's not. I wouldn't put it in my games of the year. I don't even think it was the best game that year when it came out in 2015. There was a lot of other games that came out that are better. But so yeah, that's my Undertale experience.
Okay.
And then the last game I've been playing is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I'm trying to get rid of some stuff in my backlog. And I've talked about it before, but it's good. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Maybe that ties in with the whole Pyra and Mithra being in Smash now that they've been released. But yeah, it's a solid game. If you have a Switch and you're looking for a meaty experience, combat's a little bit MMO like, and it's quite good. And I've already put I think 60 hours into it, and I don't know where the end of the game is.
Wow!
But it's a long one. Yeah, you'll definitely get your money's worth out of that one.
Now, how would you compare that to the first one?
I haven't played. I have the definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles. I haven't played it yet.
Okay,
I'm playing Chronicles 2 first, and then I'll go back to the definitive edition of the other ones. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm still looking to pick them up.
So speaking of backlog, did you how much did you put into Disco Elysium?
Not a lot, maybe 10 hours. So
okay.
I bet that one's I haven't put that one. I definitely am going to go back to for sure. That one seems like I need to just play that and only that for a while. That's kind of what I get from that game.
Yep.
So the final cut came out today.
Oh.
Yeah, the where they added all the voice acting.
Okay.
Yeah. So apparently it's like a 15 gig patch. So I was going to start it a couple months ago, and then I heard this was coming, and it's out today, so I can officially add this to the... I want to get this playing pile.
That's actually kind of perfect, because there were some decisions I made where I kind of wanted to go back and change some things, so maybe I'll do a fresh one. Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
15 gig. That's pretty big. That's about one bug patch in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, Cyberpunk will just be a 300 gig game by the time they're done with it.
Oh Lord, probably.
So I'm going to go next here, but before I do that, I'm going to take this opportunity to do the second prize word. And the second prize word will be porch. So the first two people to email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com with the word porch will get sent a couple Steam codes for some games.
If the last word isn't shotgun, you're doing something wrong.
So I've been kind of doing what Damon said. I've been trying to clean up my backlog a bit. So I've been playing a lot of Division 2 and Hyrule Warriors. In Division 2, I've been playing the Warlords of New York expansion. And I wanted to go back to it after playing the Outriders demo. And I'm like, no, I think I like this Division 2 cover shooting and fighting so much better than I do in Outriders. Just a lot better experience. And so I've hit the 20-hour mark in Hyrule Warriors, and I was coming to the end of chapter 4, and I'm like, man, I gotta be rounding. I gotta be rounding third base at this point. Like, it really feels like I'd finished up all my side quests, and I went and did the like one of the main story quests, and I finished it, and it unlocked 31 new side quests. I'm like, oh. So I finally looked it up, and there's actually 7 chapters, and I've just finished chapter 4. So I've still got another good 10 hours to put into this game.
Wow.
But I'm still loving every minute of it. I always forget his name, so I wrote it down here. I've unlocked a character to use, Hestu, which is the guy that you hand the Korok seeds into in Breath of the Wild, the guy with the maracas. So he's an unlockable character. And you go out on the battlefield and attack people with your maracas.
He's got the maracas? Yeah. That's so good. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
So if you've played any Dynasty Warrior type game, like, your combos grow and grow. And, like, his combos all involve Koroks, the little guys. And, like, there's one of the higher ones I got. Like, they come in and they've got, like, they're like helicopters. They just come in and, like, bomb the field in front of you. It's so good. It's just so much fun. Yeah, I wasn't like, when I thought I was coming to the end there, I wasn't like, yes, I'm finally coming to the end. But there was a bit of sadness, and then a little overwhelmed when 31 new side quests unlocked. But I'm glad that I still have a bunch more time left in this world. Something I think 3, maybe 4 of us all did was try the Monster Hunter Rise demo this week too.
Yeah.
I think I explained it to you guys as trying to take a sip from a garden hose. Like, they're just there seemed to be so much. It looks like it could be fun. It looks great, runs great. Holy crap! I could, like, for Switch graphics. Yeah, it looks really good. And before I move on to the next one, anybody want to just drop anything quick about Monster Hunter Rise demo? Or
I want to dive a little bit deeper into it to see
the demo or the game?
Yeah, the demo.
Oh, okay.
Just to see whether I actually, because I went to try and get the game and they didn't have it. And then after playing the start of the demo, I was just kind of like, oh, maybe that was a good thing. So I'm still going to give it more of a chance. But like you were saying, trying to drink from a garden hose kind of thing. It was just like there was just so much there, so much going on. Almost seemed a bit overwhelming when all I wanted to do was just, focus on the monster
hunt and kill some monsters, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if I dive deeper into it, it could prove to be pretty interesting. I will say though that this zip wire mechanic, where you can kind of like jump around, Alice Spider-Man, was pretty freaking cool. It's like the monster knocked me down, and I was able to like just zip line and get right back into the fight, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. And I managed to accidentally snag another monster, and then it was all kind of like Godzilla versus King Kong thing, where you're like riding one monster, fighting the other one with it. So it has some serious potential.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying it was super overwhelming, and
it really was.
I'm gonna watch for it to go on sale. And Capcom usually has some really good sales on their stuff, so I'll pick it up someday. But right now, it seems like it would require more time than I have to give it.
Yeah, like I played Monster Hunter World, and I had felt the same thing. I was just like, oh my god, like it's too much. And this is coming from a guy that's all over Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But it seemed like a little bit too much. So I'm curious to try Rise. They say it's the most accessible Monster Hunter yet. So I mean, I'll give it a shot. Same for you though. I'm probably gonna wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah, I think I may do that too, but I'm still going to give it more of a chance and see whether I like it. But yeah, it's a definite sale item.
Okay. So I even as much as I bitched about it last week, I went back and tried to get a game working on the EA Play on PC through Game Pass, and I got Command and Conquer Remastered to work.
Hey.
And yeah, it's they really dive into the whole that it's a remaster thing, because like it gives you like a whole loading screen where it's like re-rendering graphics, like letting you know that it's a remaster. And then the first map you do, it actually has the old graphics, like as it starts out. You're on a beachhead and there's like a boat goes by and it starts bombing the beachhead so you can land, and it's like hit spacebar to activate new graphics, and you do, and it's like wow, and it's it's all remastered, right? So I played a few maps into that. Yeah, it's good old Command and Conquered. I mean, it is just the graphics done. There isn't a whole lot of stuff that changed in the gameplay, which is fine. Like it was fine then. It's fine now. So I'll dabble a bit more into that. But man, that EA Play, the error that I was getting, I finally caught it, and I needed to give administration permission for EA Play to run the game. Is what the error, because it was showing up as an error in EA Play, just like error, like not going to play the game. Like it didn't give any explanation, and then I finally caught that window just blipping by that says when you need to give it administration permission. So yeah, there wasn't much else on there I wanted to try with EA Play on PC. So, but now I know how to get it working. When something does, I will give her a try.
Nice.
And last but not least, I've been playing some Apex Legends this past week.
On the Switch?
Nope. No, I've been playing on PS5. But my kid's been playing on the Switch with her boyfriend, and so I hopped in on a few times with them to play. And yeah, definitely a lot more fun if you got some people. And we're using Discord because if you try to use the audio on the Switch, like the chat on the Switch, it comes through all roboticized, so it's definitely using, like, the bandwidth can't keep up. So we've been just using Discord on our phones, and yeah, so that's been it's actually been a lot of fun. Learned a lot about that game. It's not something I'm going to go play on my own, but something I can hop into with them. So that's been fun.
Is that free to play? Apex?
Apex Legends? It is.
Yeah?
It is, yeah. Yeah. If you wanna hit up some Apex Legends sometimes, let me know.
Indeed.
I'll teach you what I know, which isn't much. Rob, what have you been playing?
Hey, guy. Hey.
Hey.
Well, I actually have a second game. Talking about EA Play reminded me about. I did the same thing. I just wanted to make a game work, and played some Need for Speed Heat. And I'm going to leave it at that. And so the other game I played was Octopath Traveller for Game Pass. I was big into the Switch version, and I wanted to see what it looked like in 4K. And holy Dinah, it looks real good. The graphics themselves, I mean, they have an 8-bit blocky-ish kind of look, but it's all the effects in the background with that like there's a term for it. I can't remember what it is.
It was 2.5 HD or something like that. 2.5D.
Yeah, just there's certain areas where there's water and then you've got sparkling, and it just like it looks amazing. It plays really well. It's the story's great. It's a really well-made game, and I'd want to kind of revisit it before the new game in that vein comes out, which I never remember the title to. It has words in it.
Project Triangle.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But Octopath Traveler was the game I played, never beat, and then I wanted to get back in and try it again. So
Nice.
it's a great game.
Yeah, it does some great stuff with that. Well, it was you inspired me when you told me you got the Need for Speed working. So I was like, all right, I'll go back, and I went and picked up and blew the dust off of EA Play in the corner and put it back on my computer.
Yeah. And that's it.
Okay. Well, also I gave you a cheap bag game.
You did. Speaking of synth music, like Damon was talking about.
Okay, so I just read this. I know when you usually give them to me, you usually download them and try them just to make sure that they're bad. I go a lot more blind. I just read about them, and I read the terms rhythm, shooter, and dubstep, and I'm like, oh, this is so for Rob. I was really hoping that there was going to be like you could only shoot like to a rhythm or something. You know, that's what I thought it would actually. But I'll let you.
Yeah, it was. So I played Bullet Beat for the Switch, and it was like a warm glass of milk. I mean, it wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but it for 10 cents or whatever I ended up paying, 12 cents. Can't remember what it was. It was all right. Music was good. Like, it was an interesting idea and some interesting implementation of the idea with like geographic shapes and but it does not have a lot of staying power. But yeah, the music, that's what the kids are. I thought of Damon the entire time I was playing it. I'm like I don't get it, but it sounds like they're trying hard, and that's important. Someone enjoyed making the music for this game. So, and after the last one you gave me, where it was just that one guy playing 3 chords while his kids played in the background.
Yeah, him and her.
It was a welcome change. So
yeah, okay.
Well,
right. you'll have to find something here for me for this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, come on. We need something in the range of Nicky the Home Alone golf ball. Got to get back to the classics.
That's right.
That was on sale again, actually.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Not surprised that a lot of what we've played in that series has gone on sale repeatedly.
Yeah. I didn't get to my retro pick this week. I feel much shame.
All right, let the team down. That's fine.
Yeah, you didn't do yours last week either, so I've just gone with the precedent. I'll do 2 next time. Yikes.
Yeah.
Now I've done it.
Oh no.
Well, I think that's it for what we've been playing. I thought I'd give Brent and Damon a chance to maybe air some grumpiness, because Rob and I, during the other shows, get a chance to vent a little bit. So, Brent, you have something that's making you grumpy?
Xbox. I gotta say, I mean, it's not a problem that everyone's having, but apparently a lot of people are having it, and it's been an ongoing thing since November of last year. And it's the battery packs and charging inside the controllers with the USB-C. Literally, none of them charge. I tried it on a Series S, Series X, and 4 different controllers. And it will not work, will not charge on any of them. That's an old OEM Xbox One, a new Xbox One meant for the Series X and S, and 3 Insignia battery packs. And all of them refused to charge in 2 different consoles, an S and an X. Like, absolutely refused to charge, or they showed they were charging and they weren't. And literally the only way I got them to charge was going out, buying an Insignia charger, having to get a USB, and this one is meant to plug into the Xbox, like the Xbox One. So it really didn't fit the Series X or the S. So I had to get a USB extension cable. Those charged said they were completely fully charged. I put them in the Xbox controller. They registered 3/4 of a charge and were dead in like 3 hours. And I definitely don't think it's the Insignia battery packs. They're brand new. And plus, I tested my old ones, same thing. So, and not everybody is having this problem, but definitely, I've seen in forums and in help chats and on Reddit that a lot of people are. And yeah, it really kind of ticks me off because it's not like it's a quality of life upgrade or it's a special feature. This is the damn controller, what you're using to play the console and the games with. And again, like I said, it's not super widespread, but apparently thousands of people are having this issue. And yeah, it's been a bit of pain in the ass considering, I've spent 160, 170 extra dollars, to try and get all these like battery packs and things to work, and had to end up buying an external charger. And even when I charge it up with that, they still don't work. And again, like I said, not everybody is having the problem, but for a lot of people, it's something pretty serious.
You could have bought a Series 2 for that much money.
I know, eh? And then I thought about it, and I was like, shit. And then I was looking at it on website like last night, and I was like, I wonder if I can just like sell all this other stuff and buy one of the Elite controllers. But like I said, brand new console. I mean, I know everything's going to have its bugs, and not everybody is having this issue. But it's a pretty serious issue when your battery pack will charge in the controller, whether it's an aftermarket or one you bought from Microsoft. So yeah, I mean, it's been around since November, since the consoles came out, and yeah, I think it's something that Microsoft should kind of address before the whole spending $10 billion on Discord kind of situation. Get the controllers working, keep people happy, keep them playing. Because like I said, they're like, I mean, I could afford it. Not completely, but I could afford to do it. But say there's somebody out there that can't afford it, and went out and bought them, and it was defective and didn't work for them, and they were basically told, well, it's your problem, which is what a lot of people were told by customer service. So yeah, that's what's been making me grumpy, and I think it's something pretty serious. I mean, like, again, it's not earth-shattering, it's not world-ending, but for a lot of people, it could be, it is a potentially serious issue. Because if you can't use your controller, can't charge your battery pack, you're stuck spending, money on batteries, and tons of batteries, where you just, spent 30, 40, 50 bucks on the pack, and then you still have to go out and spend money on a good USB-C cable if you don't get the one that comes with the USB-C cable. So, yeah, and then there are controllers that come with a USB-C cable, but no battery pack. You have to still go out and buy your own battery pack. So it's like, yeah, there's some things I think Microsoft needs to work out there to smooth all that out and get, the whole experience with battery packs and charging, solidified and working for everybody, really.
I've been using a controller dock that I've seen, like, I know Ryan and I have that Cyberpunk controller, and like you can buy like the Cyberpunk battery pack for it too. And then cool. It comes with a dock as well, and I just hit the controller. And that's how I've been charging controllers, that in the Series 2. But yeah, I agree. Kind of AA batteries surprised me when I opened my Series X. I'm like, oh, they're still going with the batteries. I mean, at least they're here. They included them, but
yeah, and they're Duracells.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like being able to swap batteries out. I mean, I honestly, been using PS4 since the beginning, and I only had one controller actually die on me. Other than that, I've still got old ones that still work and still charge and still, hold a damn good charge, if not a full charge. So I like the availability to be able to swap out batteries in the Xbox controllers. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's an issue, especially if people are like, okay, I've just spent all this money on a Series X. I'm going to go out and buy the battery pack and stuff, so I don't have to buy batteries, and I'm going to go out and buy the charging cable. And then it just doesn't work, and they're like, oh, well, we'll buy another one. try another one. It's like not everybody can do that after spending money on a very expensive console and games. So it's just something I think that Microsoft needs to really look into and work on, and just get that quality of life stuff going.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you for the idea, Damon. I might actually pick up one of those docks from Best Buy.
Yeah, there is. It kind of doubles as a little display piece too. You can kind of set your controller on it. It's kind of.
Then I'll have to go and get that Cyberpunk controller, make it look nice.
They might be on sale. I don't know.
See
Damon, you got anything making you grumpy?
Yeah, a little bit. I was just kind of looking at my game list here, and I kind of realized something. So I've got Katana Zero, Undertale, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I have a Series X, and I'm playing pixel art games that look like they were made in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
Right?
I don't see the problem. That's
oh no, okay. I understand. Okay, yeah, it's a first world problem at that. But anyways, this has still been the most dismal console launch we've seen. We're coming on April. Yep. It's beyond the first quarter. It's been half a year since console launch almost here, and there's still nothing in sight even, and that bothers me a little bit. That's a little excessive. I don't know. You've got a PS5, Ryan. So I mean, is it same kind of stuff? I don't know.
No, it is. I mean, I played Miles Morales, and
I think you were saying you hadn't touched it since.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I finished up Miles Morales, but I'm playing PS4 games, right? Like, I don't know. I think Ratchet and Clank will maybe be my first official next gen purchase, but that's. I think that's May still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
PS4 games. That's what I've been working on.
And even Brent and I are planning to do here a little bit of a deep dive on the Medium, which is supposed to be
it's a
next gen game, but
no man.
Yeah,
we'll save that for the deep dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dismal. It's very dismal. And it makes me grumpy too.
Yep. That's all. That's all that's making me grumpy right now.
Ryan, speaking of a next-gen game that you could play, one that you can add would be this game right here, which hopefully it's called No More War, I think. Gnome More War.
Oh no!
And right now it is 34 cents.
Oh no!
34.
But it's 90% off. It's normally $3.50.
I may have to get
that. That's my cheap bag game.
It's looking. I decided I'm gonna do the opposite of what I normally do, and that one just looks bad enough that I don't feel I have to play it. So hopefully that doesn't backfire on me, and you're like, this is the next great.
This is my next time waster. Thanks, Rob.
I'm gonna play this game forever.
Yeah, like the hamster handler.
Yeah, is there anything on the horizon, Damon, for Series X? Like anything that's Microsoft made that has a release date?
Nothing on my radar. Not honestly, I can't even think of one right now.
Yeah.
Is there a release date yet for Halo?
No, they're saying
still not. Wow. Okay.
Still, holiday this year, but
holiday is kind of there.
Holiday. You didn't say which one. Okay.
I'm seeing. I signed up for the beta, so maybe that might happen. I don't know, but the beta is supposedly around the corner. The multiplayer beta. So.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing on they don't even have anything on State of Decay 3 yet. Just the name and that little trailer. What else is it? I think Avowed was the only thing that they were talking about. But even that, I think, is they were talking demo or beta late this year and release early next year.
Which game might get?
Sorry, Avowed.
Yeah. Oh, Avowed. Okay. Yeah.
That's the Skyrim. From Obsidian kind of thing. But other than that, I think nothing. But I gotta say, even though PlayStation has also been a bit as dismal, they still put out several next-gen titles already, and, then there's Returnal, which, even though I've been making jokes about, I've actually looked a little bit more into and watched some more gameplay that's come out, and it looks kind of freaky in a good way.
Yeah.
So
it's just the worst name ever.
I know. Oh.
My goal will be to play Returnal while at a urinal.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can do that on the new PlayStation handheld comes out with 5G.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
You can play it at the urinal. And for God's sake, I can't. That other game is coming out this year. That one with the guy in the spacesuit and the little girl, and it looked very kind of Hideo Kojima-esque. And I can't remember the name of it. That's supposed to be out this year, and that one actually has me the most hype. And that Cybercat game, which I can't remember the name of now.
It just screams next gen.
Yeah, totally.
Do you have anything more you want to add to your grump there, Damon?
No, that was it. Maybe this Christmas we'll get a next gen game.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, before I throw this freight train off the rails and drag out a ending, because even after 80 episodes, we still don't know how to end the show. I've got one more word, and the first two people to email us the word cyberpunk, because we've been talking about a lot of cyberpunk. First two people to email the word cyberpunk to makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. We'll send you a game code there, Steam game code. So yeah. And with that, I guess we can wrap up this episode. Thanks everyone for watching, listening. You can check out more of our stuff. We have been pointing to our website, but we've been neglecting it. So I'm just gonna say our Facebook page is probably the best place to keep up with the most current stuff. And we're on YouTube as well. So any likes or comments, we love them all. And if you want to just drop us a line, you can, like I've been saying, email us at makeusgrumpy@gmail.com. So thank you everyone for watching. Have yourselves a good day.
Indeed.
Good night.
Great night.